Okay, so now we're going to talk about something called the quotient, which is really just dividing exponents. Quotient of exponents is what I'm going to call this. So remember with multiplication, you're adding the exponents. Quotient is kind of nice, especially when you have to use positives. So if I have x to the fifth over x squared, that just becomes x, which is my base, 5 minus 2. So it becomes x to the third power. Because remember, we have to keep the same base in order to be able to do anything with our exponents. And in this case, with the quotients, we always subtract. Sometimes they'll look like this, usually they'll look like this. There are other times they might actually look like a division sign, but it's not common for you guys to see those. So what if we have 3x to the fourth over 2x to the third? Well, we're going to look at our integers again. So we have these integers. We're going to separate them, just like the Lego idea. We don't actually have to do anything with them. So what I'm just going to do is kind of separate them, and I'm going to write 3 and 2, and then I don't have to worry. But what I then do is I need to take my base, which is x, and I'm going to subtract my exponents. So then we get 3x over 2. Because remember, there's the invisible 1 right there. It's kind of implied. If you look and you say, oh, well, how many 1s are there? Well, there's 1, 1. When we're looking here and we say, how many x's are there? Well, there are 5, and we know this because of our little exponent. But in general, if you don't see anything, there's an invisible 1. Okay, so let's look at one where we actually have to reduce it though. What if we have 4x to the third, y to the sixth, over 2x to the first, y squared? What happens? Well, remember, we're going to take our integers and we have to deal with those first. Those are kind of like the Legos where we just kind of leave them alone. So when I do this, 4 over 2 equals 2 over 1, it reduces. So this is kind of where I'm going to start my new answer. And then I have x to the 3 minus 1, and I have y to the 6 minus 2, because we have those two different bases. So what's going to happen is I'm going to have 2, and then it's going to be x 3 minus 1 is 2, y 6 minus 2 is 4, and I'm going to put this all over 1. But remember, in reality, anything over 1 is itself. So I'm going to actually take my eraser, and I'm just going to get rid of this one. And we're just going to leave our answer as this, because we don't need that 1. It's just going to be 2x squared y to the fourth. That's all we have to worry about. It's nothing too horrible. But make sure you watch the video on negative exponents and how to flip things, because that's going to really change things.